The recent suspension of late-night talk show host Jimmy Kimmel has ignited a firestorm of criticism from both Democratic lawmakers and Hollywood entertainers, who view this action as an alarming infringement on free speech rights. This controversy traces back to comments made by Kimmel regarding the shocking assassination of Charlie Kirk, a well-known right-wing activist and Trump supporter, who was tragically killed during a public debate in Utah on September 10th. On September 18th, ABC, a network owned by Walt Disney, made headlines by indefinitely pulling Jimmy Kimmel Live from its schedule. The decision came after several local affiliates signaled their intention to replace the show. Adding fuel to the fire, the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, under the leadership of Trump appointee Brendan Carr, hinted at possible investigations into Kimmel's remarks about Kirk, framing the situation as an alarming threat to media freedom. Kimmel, who is often critical of Trump and his allies, remarked on his show that Kirk's supporters were exploiting his tragic death to advance their political agendas. This kind of commentary, particularly in the wake of such a high-profile incident, has landed Kimmel, a prominent figure in American media, in hot water. In a joint statement, Democratic leaders in the House denounced what they characterized as an assault on the First Amendment, alleging that the Trump administration and the Republican Party are attempting to undermine the very fabric of free speech. They labeled ABC's acquiescence as an act of cowardice and condemned Carr for what they termed a corrupt abuse of power. This incident has rippled outwards, with various writers and actors' unions rallying to defend Kimmel. They openly criticized ABC's decision to yield to governmental pressure, affirming that such actions pose a direct threat to the principles of free expression that the Constitution upholds. What we have agreed to, painful as it may sometimes be, is the fundamental right to disagree, stated representative from the Writers Guild of America, West and East. They added that silencing voices in media impoverishes the entire world, not just the entertainers. As this story unfolds, it's noteworthy that a 22-year-old man has been charged with Kirk's murder, although the motives behind this tragedy remain murky. Kirk's death has prompted both national mourning and a rallying of right-wing figures who have publicly targeted those who dared to critique him or make light of his demise. SAG-AFTRA, the union for actors, expressed strong disapproval of Kimmel's show being shelved, describing the suspension as a dangerous precedent for suppressing freedoms. Notable actor Ben Stiller took to social media stating simply, "This isn't right." In the broader context of media freedom, Trump has a history of pressuring broadcasters, often threatening to revoke licenses from stations airing content he perceives as unfriendly or unfavorable. His administration has not only targeted television, but has also initiated a significant $15 billion defamation lawsuit against the New York Times. This approach raises critical questions. At what point does a criticism of content become a threat to journalistic freedom? Earlier on the same day that Kimmel's suspension was announced, Carr urged local broadcasters to follow Nexstar Media Group's lead, which owns 32 ABC affiliates and had already declared it would no longer air the show after Kimmel's controversial comments. Kimmel previously likened Trump's grief over Kirk to that of a child lamenting a lost pet. While shares of Disney saw a slight decline of nearly 1% following the announcement, indicating investor uncertainty, Carr's statements suggested that regulatory action could be just around the corner, sparking concerns over censorship in the entertainment landscape. He commended Nexstar's actions, asserting the importance of broadcasters standing firm against media that doesn't align with community values. The American Federation of Musicians vehemently condemned the government's actions, characterizing them as state-sponsored censorship. This entire incident has raised critical discussions about the intersection of media, politics, and the safeguarding of free speech rights. So what do you think? Are we witnessing a genuine threat to artistic expression, or do you believe Kimmel's comments warranted this response? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below.